SCP-2056. Object Class: Euclid. Special Containment Procedures: SCP-2056 is to be held in a forested enclosure 1 square kilometer in size. Perimeter fencing is to be constructed of concrete walls 4 m in height, supplemented with electrified fencing to discourage approach by SCP-2056. Trees within the enclosure are to be examined on a monthly basis by one Foundation botanist, escorted by no fewer than 4 security personnel armed with gas-powered firearms loaded with 10 mg etorphine cartridges. Any trees determined to need replacement due to desiccation are to be marked and replaced with transplanted specimens at the discretion of head researcher Knowles. The enclosure is to be guarded at all times by no less than 4 security personnel armed with gas-powered firearms loaded with 10 mg etorphine cartridges. Testing is to be approved only by the head researcher, currently Dr. Knowles. TTT. Description: SCP-2056 is a bipedal humanoid, superficially resembling mammals from the Primatomorpha order. It measures approximately 2.5 m in height, weighing approximately 180 kilograms. The object's entire body is covered in coarse, dark brown hair. DNA testing of this hair has not yet yielded a match to any known order of mammal. SCP-2056 has retractable claws approximately 20 cm in length. It possesses no notable resistance to physical trauma. The eyes of SCP-2056 are highly reflective, with no visible pupil or cornea. SCP-2056 lacks a jaw. Its mouth is funnel-shaped and lined with pointed teeth, similar to members of the order Petromyzontiformes, lamprey. Prior to capture by the Foundation, evidence in the surrounding environment indicates that SCP-2056 feeds on large trees and their surrounding soil in the area by latching onto them with its mouth, though the biological process through which it extracts nutrition is still being researched. Affected trees and soil were left in advanced stages of desiccation and malnourishment, and survived in only 27% of cases. The behavior of SCP-2056 suggests increased intelligence in comparison with primates, and displays an antagonistic behavior pattern towards humans, although not exclusively physical aggression. By default, its behavior towards humans includes generating sounds such as faint human laughter via a form of ventriloquism. How SCP-2056 is able to generate these sounds given its biology is unknown. Testing indicates that a lack of stress response from the subject, theorized to be desired by SCP-2056, will cause it to escalate to violence. Addendum: after extended time in captivity, SCP-2056 no longer engages in the behavior detailed above, instead retreating into the enclosure whenever security personnel or researchers enter. It will, however, still attempt to defend itself if approached too closely. When alone in its enclosure, SCP-2056 will generally remain stationary and lethargic. SCP-2056 will also sporadically vocalize, appearing to sing for minutes at a time before falling silent. The purpose of this behavior has not yet been determined, but is theorized to be in response to its extended incarceration. Recovery log: SCP-2056 was first brought to the attention of the Foundation in 19 after reports of missing persons in the area of Mt. Rainier National Park in Washington were publicly declared to be anomalous in nature by several elders of the local Native American Salish First Nations. 3 Foundation agents were dispatched to perform an investigation, posing as journalists covering the disappearances. The following is a transcript of an audio interview of tribal elder conducted by Agent. Okay, it's recording. So you and some of the other elders out here have come out saying these disappearances are paranormal? Could you tell me about that, Elder? I'm sure most of your readers will call it just superstitious nonsense from primitive people, but we know exactly what is taking these hikers going into the woods. In these lands, it is entering the territory of very old and very malevolent spirits. Have you ever heard of the Stick Indians, Agent? I have not. Tell me about them, Elder. This is what we call them in English. We have our own word, but speaking their name is dangerous. It draws their attention. Even talking about them here could be called dangerous, but we must warn people away from their lands. White people seem to give Indian legends a little more weight. Maybe it will actually help, Agent. So these stick Indians are the ones taking people. What are they, Elder? We think of them as trickster spirits of the forests. In our stories, they lead travelers astray, harm women and children, sometimes kill. They try to scare you first. They like making you hear things. Making you think you are going crazy. If you're lucky, that's all they want. 8-second pause. We have always known about them. Us living on these lands. They are big, mean, like most monsters I guess. There have always been disappearances around the mountain. Stick Indians are what's taking them, Agent. Alright, got it. I don't suppose you'd want to tell me where I could find one of these things, Elder. I know you know already. Doesn't matter though, they are more likely to come looking for you. You know about them, been touched by that knowledge. Look, you're a reporter, so report this. These forests aren't safe, and people will keep disappearing. It doesn't really matter what's causing it, but nothing else is changing, so maybe it'll help. Following this and other interviews, MTF Beta 34, GAG, BAG and TAG, were able to locate and sedate an instance of SCP-2056 in the Mount Rainier National Park forests, and called for immediate transport and evac. Agent was lost in the operation. Addendum: in the time since SCP-2056 was captured, disappearances in the affected region have begun to increase steadily. At approximately the same time that SCP-2056 began vocalizing in Containment, reports of attacks on livestock and domestic animals started to increase in populated areas surrounding the park. Operations to investigate and, if found, contain possible additional instances of SCP-2056 are currently in planning phases.